During the December session, there was the following quotation: "The pearl of one thought 3000 wrapped in the 5 ideograms hung around the necks of the infantile beings of the end of the Dharma period, attesting to the Buddha's great compassion for those who ignore this concept." First, one thought. Does this refer to the content of a thought, its duration? Secondly, 3000. 3000 what? The 3000 together, or one of the 3000, in the course of the temporality of a thought, or because of the content of the thought in question? Or none of the above?
To answer the part of the question concerning the word thought, we must first study the kanji character nen, which means thought. If we look closely at this kanji, we see that it is a combination of 2 kanji pronounced ima, meaning now, and ekokoro, meaning heart or mind. In other words, it means mind in the present moment. Words containing nen include shinnen, belief, kinen, prayer, nengen, dearest wish, tannen, thoroughness, ichinen, determination, in its modern sense, and nenriki, will, power of thought. Ichinen therefore means thought as it is now. Next, we need to consider the practice of contemplating the mind, kanjin, of Tendai. The great master of Tendai explains cessation and decontemplation as follows. Cessation refers to meditation, the ultimate state of mind, free from all illusions. Contemplation refers to the wisdom of calmly observing thought, the mind itself, at the origin of illusions. These 2 laws are like the 2 wheels of a car or the 2 wings of a bird, leaning towards one or the other causes us to fall into erroneous thoughts. In other words, if we devote ourselves solely to the practice of meditation and neglect to learn wisdom instead of achieving awakening, erroneous thoughts will arise and we will be unable to escape the realm of illusion. This is why, according to the great master of Tendai, it is necessary to learn the 2 laws of cessation and contemplation correctly and at the same time. So how do you go about practicing the correct wisdom of contemplation? This is what Ji Yi, the great master of Tendai, has to say. Cessation and contemplation can be practiced in different ways, but since meditation is the best, it is preferable to practice cessation and contemplation in the context of meditation. However, it is important not only to practice meditation, but also to observe the movements of the mind rigorously. He also gives 5 examples of how to proceed, according to the stages of meditation. 1. Practice cessation and contemplation in order to break the turbulent spirit of the beginner. 2. Practice cessation and contemplation to correct the ups and downs of the mind. 3. Practice cessation and contemplation in tune with the movement of the mind. 4. Practice cessation and contemplation in order to correct the subtle errors of the mind during meditation. 5. Practice cessation and contemplation in order to unify meditation and wisdom. We will no doubt see in detail the practice and the effects of this practice as recounted by Ji Yi in his Great Cessation and Contemplation. However, we should be aware that if we tried to apply them, these practices would lead us nowhere but to hospital. This is why Nichiren Daishonin inscribed the Daigo Honzen, the materialization of the principle of one thought 3000, saying Juji Soku Kanjin, which means that receiving and keeping the Daigo Honzen is equivalent to contemplate the mind. Now let's look at the 3000 problem. As you know, the one thought 3000 principle is made up of the 10 realms, the 10 expressions of thusness and the 3 worlds. The 10 realms themselves contain these 10 realms, which makes 100 realms which, multiplied by 10 thus, make 1000 thus, which are multiplied again by the 3 worlds, giving 3000 worlds. Or again, 10 realms contain these 10 realms, which makes 100 realms, multiplied by the 3 worlds give 100 worlds, multiplied by 10 thus, give 3000 thus. We can do the same demonstration and get 3000 realms. This is why we speak of 3000, without defining what, because it could be 3000 realms, 3000 thus or 3000 worlds. In fact, we speak of 10 realms, but in reality, there are 136 hells, and, as far as hungry spirits are concerned, the Sutra of Full Awareness of the Good Dharma mentions 36 categories, and the Treatise on the Correct Principle, 3 and 9 categories. Animals are divided into 6,400 species of fish, 4,500 species of birds, 2,400 species of mammals, making 13,300 species of animals. The heavens are the 6 heavens of the realm of desires, the 18 heavens of the realm of matter, and the 4 heavens of the realm of the mind. As far as the auditors are concerned, they are of 4 categories, and there are 52 degrees of bodhisattvas. This gives an infinite number. In other words, we could say one thought an infinity of realms, of worlds, of thus. All this infinity is generated by our one thought. You should also know that there are 3 kinds of Ichinen Sanzen. 1. Ichinen Sanzen of the ephemeral doctrine. 2. Ichinen Sanzen of the original doctrine. 3. Ichinen Sanzen from the depths of the sentences. Ichinen Sanzen represents the finality of Buddhism and the Daigo Honzen is its materialization. Now, because of the misguided explanations given by Philistines who had understood nothing of this fundamental doctrine, I am referring to the Soka Gakkai and the various Nichiren Shu, many people consider it in too superficial a manner. So, I think it's important to put some order back into it all in the form of lectures on One Thought 3000, which will start from the next session. But don't get me wrong. I don't consider myself to know more than anyone else. Simply, having been fortunate enough to have remarkable masters and having access to the explanations of Nichiren Daishonin, Nichiken Shonin, the various high priests, as well as the texts of Tendai and Nagarjuna and other masters, I can pass on their teaching without interfering too much with my personal opinions.